Headlines for this week include the budget repair bill passes, the 100th International Women's Day, and tips on how to have a safe spring break. Stay tuned, WMCM's Week in Review is next.
Performances next week in Valhalla. The evening's program.
Hello, and thanks for watching WMCM's Week in Review. I'm Rayanna Johnson.
And I'm Sean Mobley. In a surprise move yesterday, Republican lawmakers in Madison were able to jumpstart voting on the stagnated budget repair bill by simply removing the budget. Voting has been stalled for 2 weeks in the Senate as several Democratic senators fled to Illinois or otherwise went into hiding to keep the Senate from reaching the quorum necessary to vote on the bill. Republicans were able to bypass the quorum by removing the spending measures in the bill, leaving only the bill's most controversial provision that would drastically limit collective bargaining rights for most public workers. The bill passed the Senate late on Wednesday and is currently being debated on the floor of the Assembly, with a vote expected to occur within hours. The move has been called undemocratic by state Democrat leaders and the thousands of protesters which have again gathered around the Capitol building. Police had to remove some protesters and are concerned for the safety of some of the Republican representatives who have received death threats for their support of the bill.
Tuesday was the 100th International Women's Day, celebrated every year in March. Beginning in the early 1900s in Europe, International Women's Day has focused on the economic, political, and social achievements of women. This year's theme is Equal Access to Education, Training in Science and Technology, Pathway to Decent Work for Women. The UWL campus celebrated with 3 events. First, History Under the Covers, Problems and Pleasures of Researching Women's Sexuality, presented by Marty Luebker. Second was an international coffee hour discussing women's rights around the world. And Tuesday afternoon, a panel of international women presented women's words from around the world. These events were sponsored by the History Department, the Office of International Education, and Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies. Now here's Tiffany Howard to give us some safe tips for spring break.
Thanks, Rihanna. UWL students have a reason to be excited this week. Midterms are quickly coming to an end, and taking its place is the well-deserved week-long break. The tradition for most college students has been to escape the Midwest winter and retreat to warmer weather, sandy beaches, and a week with your closest friends. Without a doubt, though, we have all heard the horror stories and what can happen if you're not too careful while on spring break. So to help you out, here are a few tips to make sure you steer clear of any trouble. First, make sure you plan ahead. Before you take off, whether in car or plane, make sure you have your essentials, your ID, plenty of cash, and confirmation of your reservations. Secondly, make sure you leave your valuables at home. Leave extra credit cards and expensive electronics behind. The less you bring, the less you can lose. If you're planning on hitting the road instead of flying, make sure to drive responsibly and plan your route ahead of time. Take shifts with your buddies and make sure the driver always has an alert passenger riding shotgun. Check the tires and make sure fluids are filled. Third, have a map of your destination in hand and remember to always travel in groups so no one gets lost. If you plan on drinking, be sure to be responsible by pacing yourself and hydrating with lots of water. Lastly, make sure to check in every now and again with your parents. It will make them feel a lot better knowing you're alive. Just a few helpful reminders for your big break. Be sure to have fun, but stay safe at the same time. Now back to you, Rihanna.
Thanks, Tiffany. We here at WMCM hope everyone takes those helpful hints and has a great break. Some residence halls around campus have been trying to raise pennies for a great cause. We sent Casey Person and Carrie Vick to find out more.
Sanford, Reuter, Laux, and Whitehall all collaborated together to try to raise 1 million pennies before the year is over. We talked to Dan Schaefer and Kayla Carlson of Laux Hall to find out more.
So it all started with our hall director who wanted to see what 1 million pennies looked like in one little location. So obviously in order to gather 1 million pennies we had to have a good cause. So we got together and started talking about different foundations and organizations that would be a good cause in order to donate all the money to. So we came up with that we wanted to do it local, and Make-A-Wish Foundation would be able to help us find someone locally who wanted to make a wish, and that would allow us to do 2 wishes with Make-A-Wish Foundation for 2 different people. One is a boy and the other's a girl. The boy wants to meet Taylor Swift, and the girl would like to go to Italy. So we thought that would be a really good cause in order to raise the 1,000,000 pennies.
Why do they need to raise money for that?
Everyone is more than welcome to donate. We have them in different halls. We have them in Laux, Sanford, Reuter, White, and I know there's a couple other halls that have said that they would have a jar at their desk. We also have it at Mocha and different coffee shops around La Crosse. So there's a bunch of different places you can donate if you want to.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation of Wisconsin asks one simple question. If you could make one wish, what would it be? This has been Carrie Vick and Casey Pearson for WMCM News.
If you want to help make these wishes come true, then be sure to donate at any of the residence halls mentioned. Last month, the university hosted 3 separate open forums to discuss the smoking policy on campus. Students, faculty, and the university's various governing bodies discussed a number of potential changes to the approved approach to smoking on campus. Current policy holds that smoking is allowed anywhere on campus as long as it is carried out 25 feet or more from any building. Proposed adjustments range from simply increasing the required distance from buildings for smoking to enacting an all-out ban. Many have come out against the blanket ban, but almost everyone seemed to agree that the time has come for changes to be made to the current structure of the policy. No final decisions have been announced. The Cooley Region Humane Society has many pets in need of loving homes. Here's some of the animals available for adoption in this week's edition of Perfect Pets.
This is Digger. He is a Labrador Rottweiler, a male of 1 year old. He is quiet, handsome, playful, and wiggly. He is house-trained and would do well with other pets.
This is Crimson. She is a black and white domestic short-hair female who is 1 year old. She is very sweet and friendly and needs lots of attention and petting. She has a quiet personality but would do great in almost every household.
This is Riker. He is a domestic short-hair cat who is 2 years old. He's very handsome and loves to get a lot of attention and petting. He has a cute little mouth and needs a home with a window that can curl up in front and watch the birds outside.
To find out more about adoption for these pets or others, contact the Cooley Region Humane Society at 781-4014.
Again, the phone number for the Cooley Region Humane Society is 781-4014. The College of Business Administration has a lot to be proud of this week. UWL students scored higher than 90% of students nationwide on a test measuring students' subject knowledge in business. Last spring, graduates of 2010 took the Service Major Field Test for a bachelor's degree in business. The test compared students from 600 business schools across the nation. It consisted of 120 multiple choice questions designed to measure understanding of the common body of business knowledge. Those students performed well in all areas. The highest scores were in economics, finance, information systems, international issues, and quantitative business analysis. This is the first time UWL students have taken the test.
Forget hunting season. Spring seems to be turning into concert season in La Crosse this year. Area residents awoke to a surprise announcement Monday morning that Sir Elton John will perform on April 19th at the La Crosse Center. Tickets go on sale at 11 in the morning next Monday, March 14th. Prices range from $29 to $129 and can be bought online or at the La Crosse Center itself. Organizers of the events recommend that buyers go online for their tickets because the event is expected to sell out within hours. If the Rocket Man isn't your thing, though, don't fret. Tickets for the Jason Derulo concert to be held in the Rec have gone on sale. If you're interested in attending and have not purchased admission yet, hurry to the Cartwright information desk, as the event is also expected to sell quickly.
Health and Wellness Professor Dr. Brian Utterman recently wrote a book titled 25 Ways to Cure Hiccups, uncovering the truth behind 101 common myths and misconceptions. We sent Brett Bailey and Emily Hoare to find out more.
Concerning our health and wellness, but which ones are true and which ones are not? We went to talk to UWL Health and Wellness Professor Dr. Brian Utterman, who recently wrote a book titled 25 Ways to Cure Hiccups, uncovering the truth behind 101 common myths and misconceptions.
The book is about health myths and misconceptions. So basically it's 101 chapters or 101 myths, and some of the myths relate to exercise and fitness, some relate to nutrition, some relate to general health topics, and some relate to non-health topics.
One such interesting myth is that drinking beer is actually good for your health. We asked Ryan Pomeraning what he thought.
I mean, I thought wine was okay. You always hear about wine, but yeah, beer. And he said he likes a little bit of Jack Daniels like every day. But yeah, you have to kind of keep under control, I guess. So
many people used to think, or still think, that it's red wine. You know, if you drink red wine, it's really good for your heart. And really, the research is starting to show that it's all alcohol: red wine, white wine, beer, liquor. But again, the key there is moderation.
So what he told me was 2 alcoholic drinks a day. Is that what it is? Is okay, and anything more than that is bad. But I've broken that rule before.
Moderation defined for women is usually 1 drink per day. And men, 1 to 2 drinks per day, because men on average are a little bit bigger. A pitcher's not a serving.
This is Brett Bailey and Emily Hoare reporting, WMCM News.
The book is now on sale for $12.99 at Amazon.com, so get your copy today. Our own Murphy Library has received the honor of being selected by the U.S. Government Printing Office for the March 2011 Depository Library Spotlight. The depository program was established by Congress to ensure that the American public has access to government information. There are nearly 1,250 libraries that participate in the Federal Depository Library Program, which provides government information at no cost to designated depository libraries, like Murphy Library, throughout the country. Murphy Library is one of only 24 libraries recognized by the FDLP since May 2009 and is the first in the tri-state region to be spotlighted under the program. The spotlight will be featured on the library homepage all this month. Check it out at www.fdlp.gov/outreach/spotlight. Each week, the WMCM crew goes out and talks to your fellow peers in a segment we call Campus Insight. This week, they ask students what their spring break plans are.
Students what their plans are for spring break.
For my spring break, I will be driving down to Florida on Saturday, and we'll be spending Tuesday and Wednesday at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Going to Colorado and going snowboarding with a couple of friends.
I'm going to Las Vegas for spring break.
I'm going back home to Racine.
I'll be going on big break with Campus Crusade for Christ down to Panama City Beach.
I'm going to spring break in Florida with my family.
We just really want to spend some more time with our children that stay in daycare most time when we're in school until 5. And that will be a perfect opportunity for us to do some fun things with them.
All right, this spring break, me and my buddies are going to go up to Treasure Island Casino in Red Wing, and we're going to gamble all of our money away that we made over Christmas break and just have a grand old time gambling and swimming in the pool and probably drinking water in our hotel room.
Me and this gentleman are going on a road trip across the U.S. to the West Coast and back, and stopping in Vegas.
Hopefully everyone has a nice week off of school and a safe break. This is Ashley Carey and Jenny Schrader from WMCM News.
Look for the WMCM crew around campus for a chance to have your opinions heard on next week's Campus Insight. And now here's Ben Witucki with a review of the movie Adjustment Bureau.
For this week's movie, I really wanted to do a movie that is all the buzz around campus, The Adjustment Bureau. The Adjustment Bureau can be described as a romantic science fiction, and it really lives up to that title. From a terrific script based on a loved science fiction story, this movie is filled with awesome action sequences and a heart-jerking love story that mesh together to keep you on the edge of your seat. Before I give too much away, let's take a look at the trailer.
You're that guy running for Senate, aren't you?
I am that guy, yeah. Are you a registered New York voter?
Do I sound like I am?
David!
I gotta go. Sorry.
How was that? I don't know.
Let's race.
You challenged me in those shoes?
We are the people who make sure things happen according to plan.
We monitor the entire world.